Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see from the title, we are back for the part 2 of the Love is Blind reviews, and for this video we are going to be reviewing episodes 7 to 10. If you were here for the last video, I'm in the same outfit because I filmed these on the same day. My week schedule was just not constituting me to film these on separate days. Just to address the elephant in the room, we are going to be reviewing these 3 episodes, and then I said in my last video, but just for reference for this one, I will be reviewing the other episodes once the wedding episodes come out, because I don't see the point of reviewing 2 episodes, so I'm gonna wait until the wedding episodes come out and then I will review those. So first thing I want to talk about is where Chris and Jess are basically having a conversation. Now, before this, because my honest opinion on the whole Chris and Jess situation and how their relationship went so downhill is that once Jess showed Chris where he lives, because during the show they do a segment where both partners or both people in the couple will show each other what their houses look like. And Chris, I think he lived in like a studio apartment or something, or like he had like a small cul-de-sac or something. I don't remember, really doesn't matter, but anyways, he had like a very basic house, whatever. Then we cut to Jessica showing Chris her house, and her house is really big. She has I think she has 4 bedrooms, and she was talking about how she wanted a really big house so that she can host for her family when they come over to her house for Thanksgiving and all that. So she just wanted a house that has a lot of space, and she works as a nurse, I believe, so she makes a lot of money, she works hard, she has a really nice home, and I liked her home. I thought it was really nice, and she was showing Chris that, and I guess from that moment it seemed to be that something in Chris's head went off, where I think he honestly realized, I don't think I'm good enough for this woman. Like, this woman is way out of my league, or like, yeah, basically that he felt inferior towards her, because let's be honest, Jessica is a very accomplished woman, and then Chris is, well, he's Chris. It just wasn't, you're just not on her level. Like, you're not on her level. And that's the funny thing as well. It's like, these men will take themselves out of the game, or they'll neg the woman, right, who they feel inferior towards or whatever. The woman won't even look at it as a thing of, oh, I think I'm above you. But these men, they see that you two are unequal, and they're just like, oh no, I can't do this, I need to be above or superior to the woman that I'm with. So he decided that because of this, I'm actually going to try and knock her down a peg. I'm going to neg her and say, actually, do you know, I just feel like our sex life, it could be better. I just need the sex. I need, like, in a relationship, in a marriage, I need the sex to be good, because, when we're naked with each other, I need to be attracted to you. And I'm usually used to being with women who do Pilates and like go to the gym. Basically, I don't know, I guess he was trying to make her feel like her body's not good enough, essentially body shaming her, which is crazy because if you see the thumbnail, Jess is not big like at all. She's not even mid-size. She's literally a like standard skinny woman. So I'm so confused on what he was talking about. She's not big, she's not overweight, nothing. So he just sounded ridiculous trying to say these things. He was just basically talking as if she's like a beluga whale or something, and I just thought it was really weird. And honestly, I feel like that was his way of trying to neg her, basically to temperature check to see if she's gonna try and grovel in order for his validation or something. And Jess was basically like, nope, I'm not fucking with that, I'm not doing that, I'm not gonna beg for you to like me or be attracted to me, this relationship is over. And yeah, things ended between them from there. And my honest opinion is that he did that in an effort to neg her and see if she would try and lower herself in order for him to feel, I guess, more on par or on the same level as her, which is just absolutely pathetic. And I have so much respect to for Jess for being able to do this, because so many other women would have tried to explain away or say, oh, what do you mean, or oh, but I do this, but I do that, or try to justify themselves, or try and chase that guy's validation. Instead, she was like, okay, if you feel that way, that's fine. That's fine. Like, buy your life. Good night. Like, that's fine. Because I'm sorry, what's she supposed to do? She's supposed to beg it to some guy that she met a month ago? Like, please, it's not that serious. Like, it's actually not that serious. Life goes on. She lives a very good life on her own. She's very happy. She's secure within herself. Why does she need to lower herself to be in a relationship with this annoying ass man? So now I want to talk about Alex and Ashley, because Alex and Ashley get into an argument when they're sitting in their, are they in their home or Ashley's home? I don't know. But they're back in like Columbus or Cleveland or whatever. And they're in their apartment or in their house, and Alex is like doing his work or whatever. And Ashley is waiting for like a meeting for her, with her boss or whatever. And basically, while they're doing that, they're both sitting at the table. A conversation basically starts, and Ashley is complaining to Alex about how there's a lack of sex, basically, that they haven't had sex in like 5 days or whatever ever since they went on their honeymoon, and how she just feels like Alex hasn't been initiating enough. That, you know, physical touch is one of her huge love languages, and he just hasn't been doing much of it. Her needs are not being met. And I just thought it was really weird how Alex treated this whole thing like it was like some sort of HR complaint. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, it was so weird. He was like, oh, we can schedule time in, and like, I don't know, it was just weird. He was treating it so like corporate or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, she's like an employee complaining to HR about her working environment or something. Like, no, that's your fiance saying, hey, I wish you would show me more affection or acknowledge my love language. But he basically just came up with a bunch of weird excuses as to why he couldn't initiate sex with her. And you know, another thing as well is the fact that I think he has mentioned it to her one time that she's not his typical type. But I feel like Alex, to a certain extent, on the honeymoon was kind of overcompensating in terms of, you know, being very sexually active with Ashley. I feel like he was trying to overcompensate for the fact that he may not be as attracted to her, which again, I really don't understand this whole like hair colorism thing that goes on in the white community or like amongst white people. Like, I don't really get why hair color is like such a big thing, because two people could have the same features, but someone's gonna tell you that one isn't attractive to them because their hair isn't a certain color. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, he was just trying to overcompensate, and then he kind of burnt himself out from doing that. So then it's like, now once they're back in the real world, he's just not really concerned with doing that, which is still kind of shitty to do to Ashley anyways. Like, just communicate. But again, I'm gonna be honest, Alex just strikes me as a pathological liar. I'm gonna be honest. Like, the only thing that he's been honest in this whole like experiment about is him in his conversation with Brittany talking about how she's more his type or whatever. Because I feel like everything else, he just tells half truths. Like, I don't know. I didn't like the fact as well during this argument, because he was talking about the fact that Ashley was on her period not too long ago, and how during her period apparently she kept talking about babies, and he was saying, well, I don't want to have a baby though, I don't want to have a baby though. And Ashley was trying to reiterate that she's not ready to have children either. Like, she's not trying to get pregnant right now either. But he was like basically trying to excuse it by saying, oh, I don't track your cycle though, I don't really know how those things work, so, you know, that's why I didn't try to initiate anything. Like, I don't know. Like, basically he was just trying to blame it on like her period or whatever, which is weird, because it's like, no one's saying that you lot have to have sex on her period, but even just like a basic affection, like hugs, kisses, holding her hand, anything like that. He was basically trying to say, oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to do that too because you're on your period. Because she was like, oh, so because I'm on my period, I'm like plagued, like you can't even give me a kiss if I'm on my period. He's like, well, yeah, like I don't really know if I'm allowed to do that. I'm like, you're not 12 years old. You are not 12 years old. Like, Alex, you're a grown man. Like, you're a grown man. I'm sorry. It would be so much easier for you to just say you didn't feel like it. It would be so much easier. I don't know what he's talking about. Like, seriously, it just doesn't make any sense. I feel like he's going to keep trying to do ring around the roses with this woman, knowing damn well that he has no plans of actually marrying her. And I don't know if Ashley is catching on, but she should be at this point, because it's not given. Next conversation I wanted to have, I haven't really touched on Vic and Christine. Honestly, I didn't really have any strong opinions on them while I was watching the show, but it wasn't until I recently watched Blue Centric, which is one of my favorite YouTubers on here. I watched one of her lives where she was talking about Vic and Christine. Well, she was talking about the Love is Blind this season, but she was talking about Vic and Christine specifically. And she was talking about how Vic is apparently kind of flying under people's radars and people aren't peeping his game. And I started thinking about it because let's be honest, Vic is a conventionally attractive black man. You know, he has nice hair, he's tall, he's educated, he gets money, he's financially stable, seems to be emotionally intelligent. You know, he doesn't seem like there's no like red billboards about him, right? How are you single? And he was like talking about the fact that he's prioritized trying to date black women before, and I'm just like, respectfully, you're telling me that someone like you, who's all those things that I just mentioned before, you're struggling to find a black woman who is equally yoked with you? You're struggling to find a Christian black woman in America who would be attracted to you, who would want to settle down with you. Like, you are literally like what most black women in America would want to date or would want to settle down with. So I'm just not buying that. Like, yes, you lot are in Ohio, but there's black people in Ohio. Like, I have cousins in Ohio. So respectfully, I'm not buying that. So I'm just struggling to understand why he's on this show. And Blue made a very good point where he is low-key giving that he has this ploy where he's peeping that this show is a good way for him to get some type of top shelf white woman, which I'm going to be honest, I feel like that's what his game is, because I've noticed that like is a pattern with every, like even with Devontae honestly as well. He probably thought that Brittany was going to be some top shelf white girl too. These kinds of guys come into the show, whether they're conventionally attractive or not, they come into this show and they know, because these shows usually cast primarily white women or white people, they know that this is a great opportunity as a person of color. If you prefer to date a white person or you want to have some sort of proximity to whiteness through getting married and having that kind of social power, show is the great opportunity to do so. And it just was making me think of past contestants like Shake from was he from season 3 or season 2? He kind of did the same thing, and he was upset when he could only find a woman who was from his same culture to want him. But yeah, it reminded me of contestants in the past like Shake, who kind of did the same thing and then was disappointed when his results didn't turn out the way he wanted to. Even there was, I can't remember what season it was, there was one Nigerian guy as well, I think his name was Uche. He was also trying to do the same thing. Like, I just feel like there's a pattern with these kinds of guys where, let's be honest as well, with Love is Blind, this show is no longer some sort of authentic experiment. Like, people who are coming onto this show at this point, if you're trying to find true love and whatever, I just feel like you're delusional. Like, I'm sorry. This show, they've brought on abusers, they've brought scammers, they've brought all kinds of roadkill. Like, let's just be honest, because it's literally like people who should be in the dumpster that they're bringing onto the show. Like, they are bringing in straight shit from the bar. Like, let's just be honest. It's not any good pickings. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's like, if you're coming on this show, you should already know that it's going to be bullshit, right? Like, you're not being met with anything that's good, right? But specifically, the people who are coming on this show now, a lot of them they're just very opportunistic, and there are opportunities that are very much present in this show. For example, if you are a person of color who tends to prefer or is more attracted to white people, wants proximity to whiteness, and wants that social power associated with being in a white family or being married to a white person, this show presents the best opportunity to do it, because whether you're conventionally attractive or not, this white person can fall in love with you across the wall. And then after, they'll be like, well, you know, I choose you anyways. Like, I fell in love with you before even seeing you. So we're locked in for life. It's the best strategy for them. And I feel like Vic is doing the same thing. That's not me saying that, you know, he hates being black or he hates blackness. But let's be honest as well with Christine. This is not to denigrate Christine at all. I think she comes across as a decent individual. But I'm going to be honest, Christine, her background, everything is not palatable. It's not the typical story of like a white girl in America. Do you know what I mean? Like, she comes from a pretty traumatic background, right? She didn't really come from a stable family, all of that. She doesn't come from money either, like she's not middle class or anything like that. So it's like, respectfully, if Christine was a black woman named Simone or Keisha or whatever, do we think that Vic would still be interested in her? Because I'm going to be honest, I have a feeling that in his head, he would have computed that as, yeah, that's kind of just too ghetto for me. Like, it's too gutter for me. Because I don't know. Personally, I feel like the reason why he's not viewing her that way is because she's white. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like she is getting that sort of benefit of the doubt or grace that a black woman wouldn't get. Not only just from Vic, but also from the audience, because I don't know. I just feel like personally, in terms of the perception and everything, when a white person comes from that kind of background, it's not seen as ghetto or anything. But a black person can come from a single parent household. Not even that they come from some super traumatic background where their parent did drugs or anything like that. They could just come from a single parent household. Maybe their other parent passed away or something. Some people will still view that as ghetto, right? Or they'll be like, you don't really come from a stable background. You don't seem like a family person, so I'm not interested in that. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like Vic has been able to overlook that because he's like, oh well, you know, this is a white woman who, you know, I can get that social access and proximity from with being with her. Because I'm just not buying this whole thing that you do like dating black women or you do like dating women of color or whatever, and for some reason you have struggled to find one that is like compatible with you, who you can settle down with. So you came onto this show as like a last resort. Like, I'm just not believing that. Like, sorry, we need to be for real. One thing that I do respect about Christine though is that when they were having the conversation about them having biracial children, I respect the fact that she did acknowledge the fact that they were her children, potential children, if she was to have children with a black person, right, that they would have a different kind of experience navigating the world, especially in childhood, and they would have to deal with things that she may not directly understand. Because I feel like a lot of people who are, especially white people who are in interracial relationships like that, or they have children, there's this lack of acknowledgement of that, and then their child doesn't feel like they can be seen or fully heard by their parent because their parent is almost kind of colorblind. So I appreciate the fact that Christine isn't like that. I still do think though that what's his name, Vic, to some extent is kind of bringing this up though, because he knows that this is like gonna win him brownie points, like amongst certain people. Oh, he's one of those people who, like, he's one of those cool interracial relationships people, like, do you know what I mean? But again, this is just my theories and my opinions. I'm not saying that it's definite or for sure, but I'm just saying that I feel like everyone on this season is ingenuine and is a scammer. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like anyone on this season is serious. So now let's talk about Devontae and Brittany. Again, the biggest headache of this season. I am so sick of seeing these two on my screen, and the fact that I have to see them again for another 3 episodes and possibly see Brittany be rejected at the altar. Like, this is a humiliation ritual. I'm sorry, it's a humiliation ritual, and I'll tell you why it's a humiliation ritual. Because they have a conversation on their sofa, right? Brittany is talking about how they've not been seeing eye to eye lately, the argument that they had in the past, the one where he was gaslighting her. And he was talking about the fact that she just doesn't feel like he compliments her enough. He doesn't feel like he shows her enough affection. She doesn't feel like he's just really showing that he's attracted to her, and she's saying that she needs that in a relationship in order to feel affirmed, to feel insecure. I mean, not insecure, to feel secure in the relationship, and like that her partner is attracted to her, which is fair enough. And Devontae's explanation for this was genuinely a bunch of bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, this man can talk in circles for days. Like, it's actually insane how how when a man knows that he is in the wrong, that he can just all of a sudden, he becomes a figure skater, just circling, going in circles over and over and over again. It's actually insane. He said that his reason for why he doesn't compliment her regularly is because he feels like it won't be natural because Brittany has to remind him to do it. So so you're actually trying to flip the script back on her and say, well, I'm not doing it because you actually. No, that's not how that works. Like, I'm so sorry, that is not how that works. You should be complimenting her because you want to compliment her. There needs to be a conversation or some sort of unpacking as to why you feel like you don't want to compliment her or why you don't feel the need to. Because before she even noticed it or pointed it out, was that going to be your excuse as well? That, oh, you just feel like it's forced? Because before she pointed it out, you weren't doing it. And even after that, he's still not going to do it. So I don't understand what he means by this, oh, I feel forced. No, you don't. You don't do it because you don't want to. Which is why I feel like, Brittany, you're even playing a losing game trying to even speak about this or have a conversation about this. Like, I'm sorry, if you're having to tell your partner, hey, I'd really appreciate if you could compliment me or tell me how beautiful I am or make me feel desired, I don't know, or like, yeah, and they're telling you, well, like, every time it's head scratches, well, then it's time to go. Like, it's time to go. Otila, like, you need to go. Like, you need to go, bro. And then I feel like from the end of this conversation, somehow Brittany was successfully gaslit by Devontae because she then said at the end that, oh, I think that I'm just projecting my past trauma onto you. I don't know, maybe she was trying to say that in past relationships she just felt insecure, so she's trying to then project that onto Devontae. But you saying that you want your partner to make you feel desired is not past trauma. Like, I'm sorry, that isn't past trauma. That's you pointing out a lack thereof of chemistry between you two. Because I'm sorry, that's things that naturally happen when somebody likes you or when you like somebody. So that's not happening. Ding 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 ding, that's a bell. He doesn't like you. He don't like you. Like, this isn't something that they can work through either, because I don't know, the conclusion from the conversation seemed to be that they can work through this. I don't know how you're gonna work through this. He's not attracted to you. He's literally not attracted to you. He treats you like you have the plague, and then on top of that, whenever you're looking nice, he's just talking about, oh, I like your shoes. What? You like her shoes? Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's over. It's already over. And then there's a quick scene where they showed the aftermath of Chris ending his situation, or Jessica ending her situation with Chris. And then Chris brings Connor, like, he calls Connor to have a conversation with him, like, outside of their apartment complex. And for some reason, Connor's like, where's your brain? He tells Chris that he should reach out to Jessica to, like, rekindle things, or to say that he still wants to work on it. Why would they still want to? Why would you tell him to reach out to her to still work on things? He just basically told her, your body isn't good enough for me. There's no more conversation after that. There's literally no more conversation after that. It's over. I just feel like that's a weird thing to tell her in general. And then it's brought up or mentioned that apparently Chris has been in Bree's DMs straight after him and Jessica ended things. So I'm sorry. Why are you telling him that he should go and rekindle with Jess when you know Bree told you, Connor, that that man has been in her DMs? So what business does he have going back to his ex-fiance? You tell me. And then now let's talk about at the mixer. They always have a mixers, man. This mixer that they have is now like a reunion for all the cast, like everyone who was in the pods. We see some people who we didn't get to see on camera, all of that. And basically at the mixer, Bree and Chris are gisting, chatting it up. And for some reason in this conversation, Bree is just really eating up these crumbs that Chris is giving her. Like, he's like basically chatting shit about Connor basically telling Brie, yeah, I just don't feel like he's masculine enough for you. You need somebody who's gonna like be dominant, da da da. Connor's just not that. Like, he's basically just saying, oh, Connor's not the guy for you. I'm better than him. I like you, da da da, whatever. And Brie is just there going, like, she's so endeared by what this guy is doing. Like, how low is your self-esteem that you want another woman's leftovers? Because I'm so sorry, what makes you think that a man who was able to treat another woman like that is going to treat you well? And on top of that, Brie, unless there's been some missing footage, from what I've seen, Connor treats you pretty well. So I'm kind of confused as to why you're even interested. Like, again, people's searching for validation because they're not secure within themselves. This dud is entertaining you, giving you entertainment, and you're like, ha ha ha, like, you're so giddy, like a golden retriever. Meanwhile, you're getting excited for a Sunday, like, you're getting excited for a poo-poo platter. Like, I just don't understand, because if you were eating real food, if you were having, like, literally, think about it like this, like the metaphor, right? If you're having real meals that are good, right? You're eating delicious food. You're not going to be excited at a poo-poo platter. When someone puts poo-poo platter in front of you, you're not going to move. Chris is a poo-poo platter. Brie, and mind you as well, this is extra context. Brie has talked about in the past how she's been dogged out by medium ugly men. So I'm just already thinking, because this is my theory anyways on women who have a fixation with medium ugly men, you lot like that because you like the idea of having control in the relationship. You feel like if you're with somebody who is not as attractive to you, yeah, not as attractive as you are in your eyes, then you have the upper hand in the relationship, but you still ended up getting dogged out by those men. So you've been subjecting yourself to poo-poo platters for years. So another one comes along. This one is saying all these things to you, mind you, no actual substance, nothing saying that, oh, I wanna be with you, I wanna marry you. Like, it's, even if he was saying that, there's no action behind it, so who actually cares? But all he can give you is a lousy DM and then compliment you, say, oh yeah, you're exactly my type, da da da. And she's overly going like this guy is saying, I'm gonna give you the world or something. Like, calm down, calm down. This is what I keep saying. Moving for the poo-poo platter because that's all you've been eating. That's all you know. This entire season is just a mess. I feel like so many people on this season just go home. Everybody needs to go home. That's literally what I'm going to title this video. Everybody go home. You all need to go home. I hate you all. You don't need to come back. I don't even want the reunion at this point. I don't want the reunion. We already know the reunion. Brie and Chris will say that they've done a thing or whatever, or they're dating now. No one cares. None of these couples are gonna get married either. Like, this is a chop. Like, just cancel it. Like, cancel it. Cancel the show. Nick and Vanessa, cancel it. Go back to your day jobs. Everybody go home. I'm over it. That's the end of this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next review, which will be next week, I think. If you're new to my channel, subscribe, turn on the post notifications so that you don't miss a post from me. Like the video as well if you like the video. Check out my other videos if you want to. And yeah, I'll see you lot next time for my next video. Bye.